Now this is a new one for the channel, a Mario game. But come to think of it, I should really do a Mario marathon at some point. But today, we're going to be taking a look at the long-anticipated Mario game on the Nintendo Switch. This is Super Mario Odyssey. I have a rather interesting history when it comes to everyone's favorite Italian plumber. Those of you that have watched this channel for a while probably already know that I am close friends with fellow YouTuber and countdown maker Fawful's Minion. And to say that he's a fan of Mario is an understatement. If Mario came running up to Fawful's Minion with a spiked dildo with the intent of horribly raping him, he would very likely assume the position. This is the same guy that I've watched play as Mario in a fursuit and say, and I quote, "He's so fucking cute!" So naturally, as a cynic, I take pot shots at Mario whenever I can. Which also means that Fawful and I have absolutely no problem with yelling at each other from time to time. What makes this interesting is that Fawful apparently had no idea that I too was raised on Mario games, and he was legitimately shocked when I told him. Granted, I hadn't played a Mario game in full since Super Mario 64, but I think we can all understand that aside from a couple new mechanics, the formula for a standard Mario game has stayed roughly the same. Peach gets kidnapped, usually by Bowser, and Mario must traverse around 8 different worlds in order to get her back. In Super Mario Odyssey, Peach gets kidnapped by Bowser and Mario has to traverse several different kingdoms to get her back. Way to shake up the formula there, Nintendo. Actually, there is something new to be had this go around. After Bowser knocks the shit out of Mario, he lands in Cap Kingdom and teams up with Cappy to rescue both Peach and Cappy's sister Tiara before Bowser forces the former into marriage. On the surface of the moon. Normally I'd question this, but I've played Sonic Adventure 2. They find a hat-shaped ship called the Odyssey, go after Bowser and save Peach, then bring her back to the Mushroom Kingdom where she disappears. You motherfucker! Mario by himself has a number of abilities that make him really mobile. Such moves include multiple types of jumps, rolling, diving, long leaps, and using Cappy as a projectile weapon. Cappy isn't some run-of-the-mill sentient hat, however. By throwing Cappy at certain enemies, Mario can possess them and use their abilities to aid him in progressing the kingdoms and collecting Power Moons. Power Moons are needed to power Mario's ship to go after Bowser, and they can be found in every kingdom. And by found, I mean they're all over the fucking place. You could trip over them for God's sakes. There's over 900 of the little bastards, but thankfully you don't need nearly as much to finish the game. If you do plan to get all the Power Moons, be prepared to search in the most innocuous places, lottery houses, and even glory holes. Throughout each kingdom, you will find 2 types of coins, a standard coin and 100 coins that are native to that specific region. You can use these coins to buy Power Moons, extra health, and even new clothes, a lot of which are associated with the area you're in. Fashion and Power Moons aren't the only reason you visit these kingdoms though, as Bowser sends both the rabbit-like Broodals as well as a boss to steal stuff and just to overall fuck with the region. And what do we do with bosses? We beat the crap out of them, of course. After Bowser is stopped and peace is restored, you have access to the Mushroom Kingdom and a ton of new Power Moons if you plan to 100% the game. But I should remind someone at Nintendo that stars and moons are 2 very different shapes. Go back to kindergarten and match the shapes until you learn the difference. While you're in the Mushroom Kingdom, you can also come across... Is that? Oh my god. Yoshi! Yoshi, no! As a game, Super Mario Odyssey makes one small change that opens the game up to a ton of new options. The addition of Cappy and the ability to possess enemies adds many opportunities to expand on, and it's probably the best feature the game has. Super Mario Odyssey also doesn't railroad the player much, as the moons that you need to progress are all over the place and there's never a moon that will be too difficult for you to obtain. With that said, the amount of Power Moons in the game is so staggering that it leads me to the same question as the Korok seeds in Breath of the Wild. Why so many? There's so many moons to obtain, but not all of them are the easiest to find. At least the game does offer hints in exchange for coins. Another interesting thing Super Mario Odyssey has are the inhabitants of the other kingdoms. Nintendo does have a weird thing about personifying inanimate objects like the gaming equivalent to Stephen King, so I'm not really sure how to feel about some of these characters. Except for Captain Toad. Fuck Captain Toad. But if there's one group that I have to raise a finger on, it's the people of New Donk City.
Which, by the way, really hard for me not to say New Dong City by mistake. The people here are realistic. A bit too realistic. It's not terrible, but it is a bit jarring when Mario, who the last time I checked was human, is side by side with realistic humans. It is cool to have Pauline from the original Donkey Kong here though, and the song that she sings after powering the city is freaking awesome. The part I most enjoyed has to be the ending sequence where Mario possesses Bowser and goes on a rampage to escape the collapsing moon. Almost makes up for the whole fashionably late syndrome and the 2 times Mario's ship needed to be repaired. Super Mario Odyssey is one of those games that you can easily complete in a weekend if you were just doing the story mode. If you do plan to 100% complete it, I strongly advise that you get a steady supply of chips and Mountain Dew because you're gonna be at it for a while. Afterwards, you should probably look into a gym membership, preferably after you've showered. In the end, Super Mario Odyssey is quite a lot of fun, and I recommend that you take a look at it if you haven't yet.
I need to end this review by extending a thank you for Fawful's Minion for gifting me Super Mario Odyssey last year for Christmas. Love you, man. No homo. But as for the next review, I really haven't decided on what I wanted to do yet. So I'm going to leave it up to you guys. So leave a comment down below, and if I see it and it's a game I can review, I'll give it a thumbs up. And during that time, I want you guys to try to give me at least 3 games to review. And while I'm waiting for you guys to get me those suggestions, I will be working on my first countdown that's been just gathering dust. So that's going to end it for this review. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you again next time. Take care, people.